Guess what, everybody? New addition in the studio. You know why? Because what Thierry Henry wants, Thierry Henry gets. That's right.
Is it Thierry?
Yes. What were you using this for, Thierry?
I actually never asked for a screen, but never mind. Thank you. Anyway, how did you like it, guys?
Anyway, it's fantastic.
It's nice, huh?
You better be able to work it.
Yeah. No, so basically what it is we thought about, since Kate, you said I saw it, no, we thought about all the time, guys. We always talk about how the team is, but defensively. Right from the start, we always show a team in their defensive shape. So Real Madrid, 4-3-1-2. But there is another part of the game that when you have the ball, Real Madrid is never in a 4-3-1-2 when they are on the ball. As you're going to see here, when they are on the ball, they go into a 2-3-5. And why is that? Because obviously you need to have the width occupied. Bellingham usually take advantage of the run of the 2-9s. Carvajal is on the other side. But I call those guys the police officers. Those guys, Camavinga. So let's say if the ball is on this side, Modric will come, Valverde, those two guys will have to deal with the long balls. So what you're trying to do is called offensive balance. You're trying to stop the counter right from the start, so instead of have it after.
The first thing as a coach, would it be to be setting up like this to stop the counter-attack or to get 5 players in the attack?
Both, because you're trying to make sure that you have body forwards. Especially when you're Real Madrid, you need to throw body forwards. How are you going to find space? You need to have guys in between the line, especially him. Guys that are going to occupy the width of the field if you ever switch the ball. But they need to have guys also to play straight away, the 2-9s. But after that, if you lose the ball, those 5 guys are dead.
Do you think they're using this system because of Bellingham?
I think that obviously not having maybe a proper 9, having Bellingham coming in, asking them to make those runs early on the outside, Vinicius Junior or Rodrigo, wherever they're going to be on the side. But what it is they have 3 6s under to make sure that they can stop the counter, especially Camavinga. You recycle the ball and you stop the counter. I'll show you.
Do you prefer that rather than, do you prefer the 2 at the back and 3 in front? Because a lot of teams will do 3 at the back, defenders, maybe 1 full-back gets involved, and they'd have 2 in midfield.
I'd rather have those guys here and stop on the side and they deal with, because when you're in that shape, sometimes you can be open on the outside if they ever play through you. You understand?
Hello guys, so we're learning something interesting here as we are being told how Real Madrid and Arsenal are playing especially with Jude Bellingham being one of the main stars at the moment. Formation-wise, how Thierry Henry sees how these guys are playing, and from what we've seen in the video, you can see that, of course, in paper we see that they have this diamond form where we have 4 at the back, and from the 4 at the back we do have that diamond where Jude Bellingham is up top. Sometimes Modric or maybe too many will be down. Camavinga on the other side, Valverde on the other side. Then of course Rodrigo and the Vini Junior as the guys that goes forward. Now the exciting part is this: when these guys are on the attacking options, I'm enjoying the fact that, for example, Carvajal and I think it's called Gracia, they go forward. Yesterday on the game against Barcelona, we saw Mendy. So it means they go forward, which means up forward they will now have Rodrigo. They'll now have Vini, Rodrigo up top with the Garcia or Mendy here, Jude Bellingham just a little bit, then Carvajal on that side. Then at the back we have this 3 line that is in the midfield of Modric, Valverde and Camavinga, as Thierry Henry is calling them, the police officers, the guys who takes out everything that wants to pass before they go give problems to the likes of Nacho and Rudiger, who will be the last line of defense. So it's exciting how these guys are doing, because it means that if the boys ever shifted to the Carvajal side, Valverde will be the one who will be active in play. So it means the lining that we're seeing, it moves it moves while we still have a Camavinga who's still looking at that left side, so that if they try to switch the ball to the Camavinga side, the line also follows in, which helps the likes of Rodrigo and Nacho, that when the ball passes these guys, they're either able to clear it, working as sweepers and stuff like that. So that is an interesting tactic of playing, you know. I'm seeing how much this is helping Ancelotti, and now when I look at it, I actually try to imagine how the Barcelona game was like. That when Barcelona attacking the way we saw, of course the lineup was struggling a bit yesterday because they did not actually start the game with Camavinga. But Camavinga, when he was introduced, when Cruz went out and they put Camavinga in that game. Oh, no, actually Camavinga went to play as a left back. But we also saw that there were some interchanges the way he was playing. But we actually started to see the fluidity, especially when Modric came into the game, because he holds the ball, he's able to find the players, that wherever he is, he was able to pass close to the Rodrigo position of Vini, where they're able to bring it in, and that now opens up the ball way, especially when you see Rodrigo and Vini moving and running, using their pace going forward. It opens up so much space for the likes of Jude Bellingham to finish up the ball, for the likes of Jude Bellingham to finish up everything that you're seeing. That's why he's really doing so well. Why are they using this style, this technique? Jimmy Carragher was asking. People think that they only use this tactic because they're trying to help Jude Bellingham. But when you look at the way it's set up, it's actually because they don't have a number 9. So if they don't have a number 9 who can do like what, you know, Benzema was doing, they wanted to sign Harry Kane, but they don't have that sort of a number 9. If they do that, they are using Jude Bellingham as a guy who comes and fit into the 9, but allow these guys the freedom to play both as gunmen, as they're helping each other in two, in Rodrigo and the Vini Jr., which is exciting. I'm telling you, this is exciting to watch. This is something that I can learn. Let me see what he's going to talk about, because he wants to also tell us how Arsenal are doing it.
So I mean, so I'll try to show you what Arsenal does also. This is Arsenal, Real Madrid, 4-3-1-2. This is Arsenal. I think Jorginho will play inside. Rice might be higher to go and put pressure. This is their shape when they defend, right? We all know that. Same. It's going to be their shape now when they attack. Is it going to be Jorginho? I don't think so high. It's going to be Rice that will be able to participate. But on the contrary of Real Madrid, instead of having 3 6s under, their full-back goes inside. And before we stay too long here, I'll show you exactly how it looks on the screen. This is them, okay? Zinchenko is on the ball. I'm going to press, pose in and around here, and you can see already the shape. You have your 2 10s, obviously 2 10s here, and there, the 9. That's the shape. And you have your guys, obviously, defending. If you ever lose the ball, but they're also building at the same time. So if you ever lose the ball, you're still in a good shape to stop the counter. Zinchenko is going to go, obviously on the ball. He's going, as you can see him here. Odegaard gets the ball. Now, I'm going to press pause, and I'm going to invite you to stay with this man. So follow this man. His job is to make sure that he's going to go as tight as possible to his striker, to make sure then, if we don't know what's going to happen, right? Sorted, he can go here. He's also at the edge of the box to try to get it. Here the same, those guys are dealing with the strikers. That's what we talk about when we talk about offensive balance. Whatever happens, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Zinchenko, you will see, will step out of it at the end. On the goal. But look at the position. They scored. But if Arsenal didn't score, they were well organized. Apart if that guy gets the ball and they go into a run.
So it's actually still the same setup, but just with different players.
That's exactly what it is. 2, 3, 5. 2 different shape. 4-3-1-2, Madrid. And Arsenal do it in the 4-1-2-3. But on the ball, it's a 2-3-5, because you need to have the offensive balance to make sure that we can attack, throw bodies forward, but you're in position also to stop the counter.
So this is an interesting scenario. 2-3-5. That's the formation, the way they set it up. That whatever that happens, like we always talk about, this inverted fullback that has been introduced recently that we talk about the most. So one of the players in the defense, you'd expect him to go forward, but look at how this is working. So it means when they're on the attack, as now as we are seeing here, as they're on the attack, it means if Jorginho is the guy who's the center defensive midfielder, when this guy goes on the attack, you would understand that Martinelli goes forward. You would also see that there's Rice and also Saka as they're going forward. As those are the front guys. But as they go forward, you also see Declan Rice, for example, in this scenario, or maybe Kai Havertz, to come and fill in on the wings, because what happens is this Martinelli moves within, with Saka, they move inside the 18 area. So Declan Rice goes this side, as well as Odegaard moves to the other side. Because somebody told me, I don't know where I was watching this, that no matter what happens, there always has to be somebody on these wings, because somebody always has to cover the space that is opened there. So in this Arsenal formation, they're using the same thing, 2-3, the one that Thierry Henry was talking about, that as they go forward, there's somebody who's going forward. When Martinelli is moving in, Declan Rice is going to cover. When Martinelli is moving in, you'll see Kai Havertz or Declan Rice is going to be covering in those wings. But if he's not going like that, if he's going to stay on the wing, it means Declan Rice moves in within, in the part where Martinelli was supposed to move in. He goes deep from the midfielder going in that position. But the exciting part is that from that, the defensive never changes. Because alongside Jorginho now, you now have Ben White moving in next to Jorginho with Zinchenko in this point, who they're working together, creating that front three, that mid, like that defensive three that is in front of the two defenders, the defensive defenders who are in front, which means that one does the dirty work, so that it allows that if the ball passes there, it's easier for the likes of Saliba, it's easier for the likes of, what's his name, Gabriel, to deal with it, because the strikers are already dealing with the fact of trying to pass that defensive three that is formed. That's an interesting tactic that these two teams are using, which so many people have not really paid so much attention to, but it's helping them. And guess what? They only do this one on the attack. They already have enough Arsenal inside the 18 area of the team to cause problems. They already have enough players that can cause problems, but at the same time they're covering the team as they go backwards. So I feel like this is a game-changing tactics that we're seeing in this game, and I think it's exactly what these guys are using that is helping them to become something unstoppable. Because I was always wondering, of course they do lose the shape as they do this. They are never going to really stick to it, but you can see what Mikel Arteta is building. You can see what Carlo Ancelotti has built with this Real Madrid. That's why it's very, very difficult to score against these teams, because especially even when you try to hit them on the counter, because they already have at least 5 people who are already there. But understand, as they set up this one, they move in and they enter your box with the same shape form that doesn't allow them to be broken, so that when you try to hit the balls in front, when you're using those spacey defenders, they're able to have that defense that are behind that strong team that is stopping to kick the balls elsewhere. I saw that in the Arsenal video now, that you could see that there was at least a break of that defensive three that is formed with the defensive midfielder. But it's exciting. It's exciting. I'm really, really learning a lot here. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section on this.
Now look at Real Madrid and how they do it. Same, I'm going to try to pose at the right time. Camavinga here, you're going to see. Going wide, I'm going to pose at the right time. You can already see the shape here, the 2-3-5. It is not that clear yet. It is not that clear. You can see them building. They're almost going to a 3-2 because you have 2 strikers. You need to beat the line. And now suddenly, same. you have the width occupied, you have your 2-9 that holds the line of the 4, and you have your 10 that's trying to receive the ball behind the line of the 4 of Napoli with the 2. But if you ever lose the ball, you need to be in a situation that you can stop a counter. And they are. Bellingham rarely, this is Bellingham, rarely comes and asks for the ball here, apart if there is a hole in their line, as we saw on the goal when Anguissa went. We need to try to, Real Madrid needs to find the players there, because if you ever find them there, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5v4 on the ball.
Real Madrid position where Thierry is analyzing. I told you, there's always has to be somebody who's running on this wing. And in this Real Madrid clip we are seeing, you can see Camavinga being the guy who's on the left. As well as on the other side, you can see Carvajal being the one also on the right. They never leave those wings, because as you can see with Real Madrid, they're actually using the midfield as the ones that drops in. So it means Valverde, Modric, if it's Modric who's there, and Tchouameni, or maybe just Tchouameni who's there. The three of them are the ones who drops in. So it means they're allowing their guys who are from the back. They're allowing the guys who are from who are the number 2 and the number 3, the defenders who are on this ones to overlap, like what the Klopps, Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold used to do before they came up with what they're doing now. That these guys, they go forward and they allow the pieces that they're opening, but it's still the same formation that they're using in attack. That they have the number 10 in Jude Bellingham, as we can see, he was asking for the ball. As you see that Vini and Rodrigo are already waiting inside, compact inside, while Camavinga and Carvajal are moving forward, going forward. And now you have Valverde, Modric in this game, as well as whoever that was playing the other side on the midfield. Could be Tchouameni, I'm not really sure. Real Madrid is a big club, but you can see how they're trying to stop and how they're trying to use this. That's an interesting tactic. So many people don't really pay attention to this, but that's what makes football so much exciting. Anyway, let's continue to see what Thierry is going to talk about.
I fear that almost every top team now, I would say, in European football is looking to get a front 5, not necessarily with the same players. You're talking about the full-backs being high. Sometimes, if that's a Pep Guardiola team, it's the wingers there. So the actual setup's the same. It's just different players in different positions. And the slight difference might be whether you actually start with almost a back 3 and 2 in front, or whether you have a 2 and a 3 in front.
Whether if it's a 2 of a 3 of a 3 of a 2, you need to have that balance right. Because you all know, when you play against a good team, you often sometimes don't go and put pressure, so players needs to be between the lines like Bellingham, and you need to have the width occupied if you ever needs to switch the ball. But you cannot also be too open, because that's what they want. So you need to find the right balance. It's a 2-3-5, 3-2-5, however you want to call it, but that's what big teams try to do. It doesn't matter what shape they have when they defend. More often than not, they're in that shape. City sometimes are in that shape too, in that 2-3-5.
Thierry, absolutely fantastic.
So good.
What Thierry wants, Thierry gets. Okay, back to you.
That's it. What else does Thierry want? What else can we get in this studio?
Interesting thing. So that's the whole idea that was trying to be accomplished by Pep Guardiola when he was creating this inverted fullback. He needed to have that balance in the midfield, that as they attack with the strikers and everything, there's always that balance in the midfield, as we are being told. And guess what? Now it's being made clear. It doesn't matter if there's a front 3 in front who are going there, or maybe you have the 2, as long as that balance is there. And if you notice something, with the back 3 that remains, that is in front of the defenders, if you notice how the defender stands, you find that in between the first 2 the midfielders will be up front, there's always a defender just below, behind them a bit, and the other one. So in other words, it's like a line of 5 players who are already setting up what we call like that protective wall that the teams need to stop them from going forward. So that makes it so difficult for teams to break them down. That makes it, of course, they can lose they can lose the concentration. They might actually lose how they're supposed to set up, which in a way, when that is like happening, the teams are able to score. But This is how the big teams, especially the teams that likes to play the high lines, are now playing. Maybe there will be more clips of the likes of Liverpool to look at how they're doing it. But as you can hear, Thierry is talking about how Man City are doing it. But we got to see a clear view of how this thing is being done with Arsenal and Real Madrid, how they're able to set up this protective wall that doesn't allow teams to take advantage of them when they lose the ball. But they have enough men and personnel to go cause havoc going forward, as well as having protection behind. That's exciting. Football tactics is exciting. Let me know if you enjoyed these types of videos where I try to analyze some tactical videos. I might actually look for some exciting videos to continue doing this. But remember this, people. Remember this. That 5 that is formed, and 3 that will be in the middle, and 2, because those 5 is, and whatever the 5 that will be sorted up, and the 3 that we have in the middle with the 2 defenders is there. They need that as the protection that is forming the back 5. They will never be on the line as back 5. They'll always be 3 up top and 2 at the back, so that they try to protect. Whether maybe that changes, that maybe they're now 3 at the back and 2 in the middle. It is a little bit difficult when they're 2 in the middle because they will cover so much space. But if there are 3 in the middle, they're able to cover so much space, which makes the job so easier for the 2 that remains at the back. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. It looks like this is something that is going to be happening for the future and the future to go. I hope you learned something. Do you enjoy football tacticals? Let me know. Thierry wants, Thierry gets. We're out. Peace. Subscribe to The Connect. And I'm going to be talking to you about the reactions of what people thought of Real Madrid versus Barcelona. I'm out. Peace.